So in with these types of problems, right? We've got you've got a cube. Cube is your highest degree, right? On this one and on this one. So when we do these, we're going to approach this from the standpoint of how can I get this into something that I kind of already know how to work with. All right, and so I guess the place I want your brain to go first is greatest common factor. Greatest common factor, how can I pull something out of this to make it look like something that I recognize? Okay, so I have an x in all three of these terms in this first one right here, right? I'm going to put a little line up, a little squash on this side, but we'll make it work. So if I pull an x out, this side factors to x squared, because 2 times 1 gives me my 3, plus I need my 2, and I need one more x in order to reach that, and then minus 15 equals 0. All right, so this is a case where we're like, oh, it's a quadratic. I think I know how to do these, right? And believe it or not, you do. All right, and so I'm going to show you the AC method first, and then I'll show you the other method we use, and then we'll finish this thing off. So the AC method, right, it means you're going to multiply your coefficient in front of your x squared term times your coefficient, or not your coefficient, but times your c, which is your constant, right? So you're going to go 1 times negative 15, all right? So this is, let's write a note, this is our AC method, all right? And that gives you negative 15, all right? And now we want two factors that add to b, which in this case is 2, all right? So if you look at negative 15 and you want two factors that add to 2, well, your factors are going to be negative and positive, right? So it's obviously not going to be negative 1 and 15 because it adds to 14, right? And it's not going to be negative 15 and 1 because that's a negative 14. So it's got to be something with 3 and 5, right? Because those are the only other two factors. So if we make this 3, we make this 5, and we want it to add to 2. If I make my 3 the negative 1, right, then negative 3 plus 5 equals 2. And you have your winner chicken dinner right here. And we're going to use those, okay? So what we're going to do is we are going to rewrite this part. We're going to kind of set this off to the side right now, and we're just going to do this x squared plus 2x minus 15 part equals 0, all right? Or actually, we're not even going to deal with the equals 0 yet. We're just going to kind of just factor this first, all right? And so when we factor it, it's going to be x squared, and then we're going to write minus 3x, right? We're decomposing it, plus 5x, so we're rewriting this 2x term into these two things, right? It gets broken up into those. Then minus 15, and then it's just factoring by parts, right? So you can pull an x out of here, and you get x minus 3. I can pull the x minus 3 out of this one. I'm going to hope that I get that here, so I'm going to write it down. And if I do multiply this by positive 5, this gives me both of the terms up here. This gives me 5x because 5 times x is 5x. Also gives me negative 15. Okay? And so now, factor the x minus 3 out, and then your leftovers are x plus 5, right? And so this is my factored form of this part of it. And so the next thing I got to do, I'm going to have to encroach over here. Okay, so let's fix what I just did here. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite this thing right here with my factored form. Okay, so my factored form of my binomial here. Okay, so we're going to go, there's my x, so that's this. And then now we're going to use x minus 3 and x plus 5, which come from here. Right, we're going to go x minus 3, x plus 5, and then we're going to set it equal to 0. And then we're going to use our 0 property. All right, so we got 3 cases, right? So this is going to be case 1, this one's going to be case 2, and this one's going to be case 3. All right, and so case 1, right, is x equals 0, and there's nothing to do, right? It's already solved. Case 2, you have x minus 3 equals 0. So let's add 3 to both sides, right? and you get x is equal to 3. And you add 3 because it's being subtracted, so you do the opposite, right? We'll keep pushing that and pushing that and pushing that, and hopefully one of these days it'll stick, right? Then we have x plus 5 is equal to 0 as well. Okay, so what we're going to do is, because it's adding 5 and I want x by itself, you do the opposite. Algebra is all about opposites. So take that 5 away, you get x is equal to negative 5. And then for my solution set, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go x is equal to, and I'm just going to leave this the big chubby font here, right? So we got negative 5, that's my smallest one, and then 0, and then 3. Those are this is my solution set for this problem. Any one of these will make this come true. That's what this means, right? So solve this, and yeah, that's how it works. All right, I am going to stop the video here and then clean up the screen, and then we'll do this next problem.